everyone, it's Jazz. It's the West Ham Irons channel. This is a fairly quick review of the game. Full-time whistle has just happened. It's finished West Ham United 2, Newcastle United 2. So this is a quick review from me, and then we're going to jump into a longer show, hopefully tomorrow with Frankie, one or two of the others. I want to run away and watch the Arsenal City game, but for me, I knew, like in my morning match day show, that this was going to be a very, very enticing, interesting challenge for me, because I feel teams like Newcastle, Aston Villa and us, we're kind of on the same trajectory, really, and it's really good to see, to be tested. If we play City, we play Liverpool, it's really, really difficult. They're on a different level to us. But when you're playing Spurs, Newcastle, Villa, it's going to be really interesting for me, and I wanted to see how do we do in that test. And it's finished 2-2, 4 goals. The game was up and down throughout. We were on top, they came back on top, then we came back in again, and I think overall I'm happy with it. It's a kind of a fair result. It's kind of share the spoils. Newcastle are a very, very decent team, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm happy with that. So I think we're still ahead of them. We're still going to be around 7th or 8th. And it's a good point. It's a good result. It's a good test for our team. We obviously went 1-0 up very, very quickly with a Souček goal. Emerson and Paqueta are forming a great understanding down that wing. And again, in this match, they interchanged very, very well. And Emerson found Souček on his own, and he finished it. No finish is ever easy. He just had a goalkeeper to beat. And there was a defender who's trying to rush back and perhaps get in the way of it. So Souček put it away. He's kind of slowly, I don't know what to make of him, but listen, he's getting there. He's certainly much better than last season. And I think with Rice going, it's kind of helped him a bit, and he is a Moyes favourite, playing ahead of Kudus at the moment, really. Unless we want to talk about Kudus a bit later on and say, is he competing with Antonio? We don't quite know where Kudus fits in long term with West Ham at the moment, but we'll come to him in a minute, because oh yes, he had a role to play, Kudus, didn't he? So we were 1-0 up. After that, the game became really nasty. Stop, start, lots of yellow cards. The referee was having a bit of a nightmare. You know, he kind of booked Emerson for, saying that Bruno Guimaraes should have got a yellow, and then so they both got booked. And then why Bruno Guimaraes didn't get sent off after the second challenge, a few minutes after the first one, around the 18-20 minute mark, both equally, if anything, the second one is slightly worse than the first one, that's a sending off. But he didn't do it because he thought, oh, I don't want to be that harsh. But if he didn't have the first yellow, you would have given him the second yellow on its own, wouldn't you? No one could understand it. I don't understand it. The pundits don't understand it. That was a sending off, mate. Bruno Guimaraes, 18th or 20th minute. That was a sending off. So that's not good. Right, that's not good. And then obviously it's become a little bit of an untidy physical game. We were still keeping our shape, fairly strong in the middle. They were really trying to, I don't know, wind us up, or because they felt though they couldn't get into the game any other way, so they're trying to rough us up. But we're pretty physical. We got Alvarez in there, we got Prowsey in there, he's fairly strong. Paqueta, he don't back down from anything, mate, you know. So we were giving it up. And then 35 minute, I've written down Antonio. Got a yellow. Antonio wasn't offering anything again, I'm sorry. When I was looking at Isaac and I was watching Antonio, you see what I mean now. You get a proper striker, it makes such a difference, right? And then obviously we go into half-time 1-1. 55 minutes, Isaac. But then don't forget, Isaac cost 50-60 million. It's a different ball game, Isaac and Antonio. Yep, Isaac kind of... Alvarez, bit of a mistake, trying to clear it. He headed it straight to Isaac. Bang, bang, great finish. That's a striker's instinct, striker's DNA. That's what you pay for. That's what I'm on about. That when you play teams that are your level, it's going to be very fine lines, who wins, who draws, who loses. And when you give that striker that inch like Nunes did against us, that's what counts. And that's where you see how, again, not really having a go at time because he's not really striking. You can see the difference now. And it's those fine lines at the end of the season that tells you where you finished, where you could have finished. So for me, the next window, I'm going to keep banging on about it. We need to buy a striker, a proper striker, and that'll complement the rest of the team, and it'll be really good. 4 or 5 minutes later, everyone, Trippier delivery, Isaac 2-1. yeah, it's kind of, what can you do? And then he nearly got a hat trick. He left kind of Agard for dead, and Agard for me again, mate, pretty poor, pretty average. Isaac, in the way he was thinking and pace and movement, was mentally and physically miles ahead of Agard. And Agard for me, I'm telling you right now, it's not good. It's not looking good for me. You're looking like 35 million pound down the drain for me. I can't see him rapidly changing the mental game. Physically, you can sometimes, but if you're mentally not that clever in terms of reading the game, marking a person, it's not working for me. He hasn't got Scooby about clearing the ball, marking his man, and the defender, the strikers he marks, they play that line very tight offside, and they're gone. And Agard was a couple of times Isaac left him for dead, really. 88th minute. Well, we made double substitutions after 75, 76 minutes. So Banrama came on, Kudus came on. Again, Antonio went off with Kudus coming on, which again I told you don't agree with that. So for me, I don't know who's up front, but Kufal and Emerson, who are both every game doing so well. Kufal assist for Kudus. Kufal just gave it to him. Kudus is well outside the penalty area, ladies and gentlemen. Thank God he's got that confidence in him, and he put his foot through it. I think he probably caught the goalkeeper poke by surprise. Great finish in the corner. Great confidence to do that. Easy thing would be, yeah, let's look and give it to someone else. No, the boy really wants to make an impact for West Ham. The roof nearly fell, came out the ground. Fans went mad. He really, really celebrated with the fans, and he needed that. And ladies and gentlemen, this is Kufal's, I believe, 4th assist in 4 games. He's having a great, great season alongside Emerson. Long may that carry on, because they are our only real fullback choices that are good. So they've got to carry on till January. And that was 2-2, everyone. And then Benrahma, yeah, I think the miss looks a bit worse than what it is. In fast motion, it looks really, really bad. Bowen went down the wing, crossed it in, and then I think the goalkeeper's just got a ricochet, and then Benrahma's put his foot over the ball. When any connection, it was in, and we would have won it. Wow, what that would have been. But I'm not going to be greedy. Man of the match, player ratings, we'll discuss tomorrow. But what I'm getting from this game is, ladies and gentlemen, it's a great test and great to be levelled. They're a very good team. I've got a lot of time for Newcastle at the moment. So very, very good point. Good challenge. But you can tell Antonio didn't have nothing to offer when you look at Isaac. That's the difference sometimes, where we could have won by 1 or 2 goals and he single-handedly brought them back into the game. That's kind of what counts. But everywhere else, I think Antonio and Agard both struggling at the moment. I mean, Antonio not that bad. Yeah, every other game he's all right. Yeah, he's just, Sheffield United wasn't so good and needs to buck his ideas up a bit. A bit lazy in a couple of situations, holding the ball up, letting it slip over his foot, that kind of thing. So Agard, Antonio on my watch list. Everyone else, I can't say anything. Played really, really well. The best it could have given. Bowen again, yeah, a little bit quiet and didn't come for him. But listen, can't knock him, mate. More often than not, he's on it. I'll take it. It's been a tough week. We had 1 whole day less rest than them. That was beginning to tell at the end. Thank God Moyes did a couple of subs, still quite late, but he did, and we know what he's like, and look at the difference. So next game be very interesting to see if Kudus can actually start or not. I don't want him starting and Antonio not in the game. I want him with a striker. I'm not sure if Kudus can play up front by himself, because then Bowen and them will naturally go to the wings and we won't have anyone in the area. It'll be even worse. So it goes back to, should have bought a striker, my man. But anyway, these are my final comments. I'm very, very happy. It's been a good week. We beat Sheffield United. We won in Europe. We kind of drew today, so we're tiddling along quite nicely, really. I think we're still 7th or 8th in the league. Before I actually finish, I just want to quickly check something. I was going to check our fixtures, really, to let you know before I go away. So we're playing Villa away. That's going to be another great test. So Villa away, And that again is going to be a great game for me, because that tells me where we are, where we're heading. That these are real tests, you know. So yep, you guys have a great afternoon, great evening. I'm going to run off to watch the City Arsenal game, which for me is going to be really, really interesting for me as well. And we will do a longer review, a longer show tomorrow. Player ratings, man of the match, other things, and hopefully Frankie can join me. So God bless. Have a great Sunday. Keep subscribing, keep following Jazz. Take care. Bye-bye.